mess, bro. Just that like pure, white belt strength. That like fucking power. So I don't see Thomas being able to get takedowns on him. I think Usman's gonna be too big and strong for him. And then on the feet, I mean, it's just gonna be a mess, bro. This shit's probably going to decision. And yeah, I mean, Usman's gotta have one of the like worst hands in the UFC, bro. Gotta be one of the worst strikers, but he's found success, bro. He's somehow 11-3. And it's heavyweight, so the barrier is pretty low. And Peterson, I think he's just too soy. He's like built like a bag of milk. And, I know that's not always indicative of whether you'll win a fight, but I think in this case, it kind of is. So I'm going with Mo Usman by decision. Luana Carolina versus Lucy Padalova. I can't lie, I did not do any research into either of these fighters. Actually, no, I do know Luana Carolina. I've seen her fight a few times. Lost to Jocelyn Edwards, Alan Perez. Oh my god, yeah, this lady is not good, bro. Yeah, now this is not gonna be a good fight. I am not looking forward to this. Oh my god. Okay, so she kind of sucks, is what I'm getting from this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with my girl, Luana Carolina. I think she looked kind of decent against Joanne Calderwood. That was kind of surprising. Oh, she knocked out Stolyarenko too. I forgot that happened. But she's really long for the division. She uses her reach, and she doesn't look absolutely terrible. She's only 31, so she's not too old either. Got knocked out by Molly McCann. What? She beat Lupi Godinez? What the fuck did she beat Lupi Godinez? That's crazy. Damn. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going with Luana Carolina on this one. I think she's just the better overall more technical fighter, and I think that reach advantage is gonna be nice. Next up, we got Loic Radsabov versus Trey Ogden. This is a tough one. I think Trey Ogden could definitely extend this fight and get Loic gassed out, and then put it on him in the third round. But I don't know. I could also see Loic defending the takedowns pretty well, because for a fact Trey Ogden is not going to stay on the feet with this man. He's going to do the usual Trey Ogden situation of shooting takedowns, riding out control time, and having a very boring fight. But he does have good cardio, and he knows how to game plan well. And Loic is yoked. He's got a crazy upper body, like kind of disproportionate to his lower body, low key. I haven't really seen him wrestle too much. I think his takedown defense is pretty good. He has a few wins by submission, so I know his grappling isn't bad, and his name ends in a V, so that definitely helps. So I could see him definitely initially stuffing the takedowns of Trey Ogden, but I saw him gas out against Kareem Al-Sawadi. He somehow got the KO in the third round. He came back and got it, but he was like gassed before that. And I could honestly see Trey Ogden getting him tired and finishing out a decision. But I don't know. I just have kind of a gut feeling with this one that Loic is going to look pretty good. One of the articles about him says, UFC standout Loic Raskabov would rather get some snacks or go to the toilet than watch women fight. Oh my god, bro. Hey, bro, that is a take. Got knocked out by Rebecki. Rebecki's pretty good. I think I remember that fight, actually. Yeah, I don't know why. I just kind of have a gut feeling that he's gonna deny the takedowns of Trey Ogden, kind of like fuck him up on the feet a little bit. But I would not be surprised if Ogden wins by a boring decision, just gassing him out, tiring him. So I'm honestly gonna go with Loic by second round TKO. I think he's gonna catch him, but that's not my most confident pick, I won't lie. Next up, we got Miranda Maverick versus Dion Barbosa. This, I think, is actually going to be a pretty good fight. I like both these fighters. I think they're both pretty talented. I've been a big fan of Miranda Maverick ever since she fought Missy Barber. I thought she won that fight. I thought she looked great. Her grappling was good. She looked strong. I do think she won the Andrea Lee fight. A lot of people think Andrea Lee won, and I was totally rooting for Andrea Lee, but I think Miranda honestly won that one. And she's not bad at all. You know, Jasmine Judavicius kind of fucked her up a little bit, but like that probably lowered her stock a little, but I still think she's a talented grappler and decent on the feet. That being said, I watched a Dion Barbosa fight. I think her only fight in the UFC. And she looked good, bro. Like, she impressed me. She looked sharp on the feet. Striking looked good. And I think she's a Olympic, like, judo medalist or something. Her grappling looked great. On the bottom, she was struggling a little bit. And so I could see Miranda maybe finding success there, but I don't see her getting off, good, like, significant damage on her. And Barbosa, I think she could gas, but Maverick doesn't have the best cardio either. So I'm going to go with Dion Barbosa by like 29-28 decision. I think she's going to win the first 2 rounds and maybe slow down. But yeah, I like what I saw from her. I think she's a legit prospect. Next up, we got Cody the Goat Gibson versus Brian Kelleher. 2 absolute chads taking it on in the headliner of the prelims. I like Cody Gibson, man. I watched him on The Ultimate Fighter. I was rooting for him the whole time, and he damn near almost won it. And that fight with Brad Katona was amazing. They fucking went to war, and that really impressed me. So I was excited to see where he would go in his second run in the UFC, because he did pretty good in his first run. Just caught a few losses, and I've not been impressed so far. His last fight with Miles Johns was not the best. It's not a great look, but Miles Johns, like, hypnotizes people. He's got such a weird way of fighting that I don't know, just kind of makes people fight in this strange way. But damn, yeah, he hasn't won yet in the UFC. Lost to Brad Katona and then Miles Johns. However, this matchup, I think he has a lot better chance of winning. Brian Kelleher has not been looking great as of lately. Knocked out by Cody Garbrandt. Submitted by, he got smoked. I mean, to be fair, he's gotten pretty rough matchups. He fucked up Kevin Kroom, which is, he should. Lost to Umar and Mario Batista, but, like, these are all pretty good names. Lost to Ricky Simone by decision. That's not terrible. Ray Rodriguez. Oh yeah, he knocked out Hunter Asher, but Hunter was winning that fight coming up. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick Brian Kelleher, bro. He's got big overhand right, good guillotine. It's actually pretty decent. And Cody Gibson's typically more of like a volume guy. He's massive for 135 too. He's pretty long, Uh, and yeah, I think it'll be an interesting fight. It might be pretty fun. I think it's going to be very close. Honestly, I think these guys are pretty similar level skill wise. How old is Cody Gibson? 36 versus 37, yeah. But he is going to have the reach advantage by 5 inches, and the height advantage by 3. So I think I'm going to go with Cody Gibson, just using his straight punches, 1-2s, trying to, stay active, maybe getting caught with a few overhands here and there, but, edging out maybe a slightly close decision. I could see Brian Kelleher having a big moment, but I'm hoping that Cody Gibson is just like one step ahead of him on the feet and able to touch him more than he gets touched. Moving on to the main card, we got Lee Young versus Hyder Emil. Damn, Hyder Emil is 34. I thought he was like 20. That's crazy. But I remember his last fight, he had like a short notice opponent, and I was rooting for his opponent big time because he's a big underdog, and he was looking kind of good. He was catching Hyder. It was a great fight. They were just fucking scrapping, going at it, and Hyder was just like one level above. His cardio was a bit better. He was a bit better shape, but he didn't look like the favorite that he was. I think he was like minus like 500 or 400 or something crazy, and he did not look that. He made it a lot more competitive, but he didn't look bad. He's got the Drew Dober Jigga Chad chin, and so does Lee. Honestly, they both got this. Is the battle of the Chads. So they both have fun styles. Lee, I think, is mostly a striker, but his wrestling, like grappling defense, was pretty good in the fights that I saw of his. So I could see Hyder trying to grapple and, maybe having success early, but sort of fading as the fight goes on. And I think violence is what's going to happen in this fight. I honestly think this fight has finish written all over it. So that's my most confident take as far as who I think is going to win. It's kind of a difficult one. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I'm going to have to go with Lee Young. He's just a bit younger, probably a bit more hungry, and his striking looked pretty good, so I think he could compete with Hyder, and I think he's going to win by knockout. Next fight, we got Choi Doo-woo versus Bill Algeo. Choi Doo-woo kind of sucks, so I'm going to go with Bill Algeo, even though he kind of sucks at times too. Every now and then, he's like him and Julian Erosa are basically the same fighter. They have like similar styles. He's more of a karate guy, I guess, but they have like terrible records. Not terrible, but not the worst or not the best records. And beat people that you think they shouldn't beat, and then just get beat by people who are like trash. So I guess I could see him losing, but I'm gonna have to go Bill Algeo by like submission. I think maybe decision, but submission or decision, submission or decision. Next up, we got Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. I'm looking forward to this matchup. This is one of the few fights that I actually am excited for and like know the people and are invested in their careers somewhat. Cody Durden is not bad. I hated him because he beat Sumitarji, I think, by like just grinding him out. It was like a shitty performance. And then he said some racist ass shit in the post-fight speech. He's like, go back to China, basically. I was like, man, he's been surprising me, low-key. Like, his performance against Jake Hadley, who we're learning isn't that good, was impressive. Like, his grappling is actually very high level. But then Dickier submitted him easy as fuck, as Mikey Musumeci would say. And so that kind of surprised me. I was like, I don't know. But, yeah, Cody has very legit grappling. Very good grappling. Yeah, he beat Charles Johnson, too. And looked great in that fight. Bruno Silva, pretty inactive. But he has looked pretty good whenever he's fought. Let's see. I remember he had a lot of hype because he was like Henry Cejudo's boy. Yeah, lost to Dagir, okay. He lost to David Dvorak. That's crazy, bro. Alright, maybe he's not that good. Knocked out JP Buys, Victor Rodriguez, Tyson Nam. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, his fight got canceled twice. Damn. Yeah, I mean, he has looked very good in his last fight, and I honestly think he's gonna continue making improvements. I think Cody Durden definitely has a chance in winning this one, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Bruno Silva. Oh, he's older than a motherfucker. I thought he was younger. Okay, that's kind of surprising. But he is 5'3". He has good grappling, and Cody Durden doesn't like people who have a lot of power. He's definitely gonna grind him out. He does have good cardio, so he might be able to gas Bruno Silva out. But I think Bruno Silva is just a bit sharper, and I think a bit faster. And he's got great eyes. Like, he's able to see openings very well. So I think he might be able to catch Cody Durden and finish the fight by TKO. So I'm going Bruno Silva by TKO. Next fight, we got Kurt Holobaugh versus Kyan Kruszewski. I like Kurt Holobaugh. His performance on the Ultimate Fighter against Jason Knight was one of the most brutal fights I've ever watched. I think the not having a crowd really helped make it sound more brutal because you could hear all the shots. But that fight was a war, bro, and he put the beats on my boy Jason Knight, dude. He put the work on him. That shit was like low-key hard to watch, and yeah, that was very impressive. And then fought Trey Ogden. He beat Austin Hubbard. That was like a kind of close fight, and then he was just a little bit better on the ground, found the submission. So he looked good in that fight. He didn't look terrible against Trey Ogden, but Trey Ogden just was a bit better than him in his game plan and what he was trying to do against Kurt. And I don't think Kynan's going to do the same shit. He's kind of like a Muay Thai fighter. He stands very plotted like that. And a bit of a more narrow stance, but he boxes a lot, doesn't throw a lot of kicks, which is kind of confusing. And he's got good powers, so I think he could definitely hurt Holobaugh, but I'm honestly fairly confident in this pick. I think he's going to be way faster, way more aggressive, and I think he could catch Kynan. I could see him getting caught on the way in because I do believe Kynan has, pretty heavy hands. But I don't think he's going to try to grapple. I think Kurt might grapple, honestly, and I think he'd be successful if he tries. So I honestly do really like Kurt Holobaugh in this matchup. I think he's going to want to get one back after the Trey Ogden fight. No one wants to lose like that. That's like the worst way to lose, besides getting knocked out. And I think he's just overall the better fighter, great boxing. So I'm going with Kurt Holobaugh by round 3 TKO. Or no. I'm going round 2 submission. Alright, next up we got Steve Garcia. I get him mixed up with Stevie Ray. Steve Garcia versus Choi Sung-Hoo, which, by the way, I like Steve Garcia. You know, he's got fun fights. So does Choi Sung-Hoo. But holy shit, this is the co-main event, bro. This is the co-main event of a fucking fight night. Like, bro, this should never be co-main event worthy. That's crazy how terrible this card is on paper. But it should still be a fun fight. Steve Garcia's got a nasty style. It's very unassuming, but his pressure is like, guys crumble under it, bro. And he just finds that chin and just fucking keeps swinging, bro. And his last couple performances have really impressed me. He's just like, he kind of takes that aggression from like, that works when you're an amateur fighter, and just kind of applied it to the UFC, sharpened it up a bit, and he's just finding these guys' chins with these hooks, taking them out. So he's honestly been looking pretty good. Put the beats on my boy Chase Hooper. That's definitely aged well. And Choi Sung-Hoo, kind of a hit or miss fighter. You know, he's powerful, but he's a little bit chinny, and I'm definitely worried about that against Steve Garcia. He might try to grapple him, which I think he might be successful with, because Steve isn't the, like, you know, I think Choi's going to be stronger. I think he's probably going to be the bigger and stronger fighter, so grappling is probably going to be the way to go for him. But if it plays out on the feet, you know, it's Steve Garcia. He's kind of one of those hit or miss guys, so he definitely could get caught by like a right hand coming in or something. But you gotta go Steve Garcia with the last couple performances of Choi Sung-Hoo. You just gotta think that he's gonna catch the chin of Sung-Hoo. So I'm going Steve Garcia by, fuck it, we'll say round one TKO. Next fight, we got the main event of the evening. Amanda Lemos versus Jandiroba. I'm going with Amanda Lemos. I think Verna is a bit underrated. Like going into her, was it Lupi Godinez? Who did she fight? Yeah, Lupi Godinez. She was like a decent underdog, and I thought that was kind of insane because she's one of the few good female grapplers at strawweight that like has good wrestling, essentially. Good jiu-jitsu, but she's got great wrestling. And Lemos, you know, she put the beats on Mackenzie Dern. Her grappling, you know, she's been probably training that for a long time. She got kind of whooped by Zhang Weili. She put the works on her for sure. And Verna, I think will get a few takedowns, but I don't see her getting the submission. And it's more of a question of who's gonna gas out first in this fight. I feel like it could definitely be Lemos, but if Verna tries for takedowns and gets stuffed, she might get fucked up. I think on the feet, Lemos is way more dangerous. Verna doesn't really have anything for there, but I think against the cage, trying to go for takedowns is where Verna is gonna try to have this fight play out. But I'm hoping that Lemos catches her on the way in, and I think she will, honestly. I feel like she's been training her grappling a lot with her past couple opponents, and although Weili kind of exposed it, Jerna is definitely good. Like, she has the ability to grapple well, and I think she's gonna get a few takedowns, but yeah, she's just so open on the feet, man. I feel like it's only a matter of time before Lemos catches her at some